right, it's the rundown. It's Wednesday. It's May 5th. We have Chaps here. We have White Sox Dave and myself. Before we get into it, I do want to talk about these beautiful bottles of BodyArmor Zero Sugar that are next to us. We got a lemon lime right here. We got fruit punch right there. That's my water that I think I already drank out of. But thank you, Chaps.
No, it was.
it was Cap?
Yeah, you heard it. You heard it.
I heard it.
All right, regardless, we're here to talk about. What do you mean?
Why would you start it off that way?
Yeah,
that I was taking your water.
Well, I brought that was my water.
You didn't bring these.
I brought that.
Okay.
I didn't bring these.
If that's true, I apologize.
That's okay. Well, you know.
Would you take it back?
No, we have more.
Okay, we got a lot.
It's certainly fine.
Okay.
But yeah, this episode is brought to you by BodyArmor Zero Sugar, the brand new Zero Sugar sports drink. From our friends at BodyArmor, provides real hydration with no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. Whether you're looking to stay hydrated or recovering from a long weekend, BodyArmor Zero Sugar has got you covered with great tasting flavors like fruit punch and lemon lime. I'm just fine because I'll just drink the Zero Sugar.
Hit that. That's that fruit punch.
Ooh, it was cold.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Lemon lime is just...
You'd never guess that was zero sugar.
Yeah, it stands the test of time. You can get yours today at Walmart or at a local grocery store near you. First topic today for the rundown. LeBron James says he's so fucking mad that he doesn't play with Kyrie Irving anymore. He talked about it on his podcast with JJ Redick. And he said, quote, "I'm so fucking happy and so fucking proud and to watch him continue his growth, but at the same time, I'm so fucking mad that I'm not his running mate anymore. He's the most gifted player the NBA has ever seen." Chaps.
Who cares? Like, if you want to play with him, play. Isn't he a free agent? Couldn't LeBron be a free agent?
Kyrie is.
Kyrie was a free agent last year. LeBron has one more year left on his deal next year.
Play with him.
Yeah, go play with them.
He can't now. No. They could have. The Lakers couldn't afford what the Mavs gave him this year.
Okay.
So it wasn't really on the table.
I mean, you're LeBron James. If he wanted to swing it, he could swing it. Is that not how it works in the NBA these days?
LeBron James himself has been basically a GM for the last.
That's exactly my
9 or
point.
10 years.
Yes.
Exactly. You're right. It could have happened, or he couldn't have just, had things get fucked up in Cleveland, and he could be in this situation. But yeah, I don't know.
I think he's the most skilled player ever.
No,
I don't at all.
I think Kyrie Irving's really fucking good.
I do too.
He's
always have.
Absurdly good.
Yeah.
He is, but like the most skilled all-around player ever.
He might be the best ball handler ever. I'm not an NBA guy, obviously. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but
I mean, I guess
like if LeBron James, obviously there's media fluff.
Well, it's all media fluff. People ride for their guys. And
exactly.
But there's a lot of players who say that Kyrie Irving's your favorite player's favorite player.
Sure. Kyrie Irving's awesome. And it took, him missing hundreds of games and having a couple controversies in an NBA final series for people to realize it again. But yes, he's a great NBA player.
Yeah, I would imagine that. How many years has LeBron got left? He's got 5 if he wants them.
Yeah, probably 5.
I don't know, man.
If he wants to play with Kyrie again,
5's a lot.
I hope he doesn't stick around where he's like bad, where he's just like a role player.
Yeah. I don't think that'll ever happen.
Yeah, I mean, he's still playing at an extremely high level.
Did he average like 30 this year?
Yeah, he was great. I don't know if
he or something.
He averaged 30, but he definitely had a great year. LeBron, I don't know. It's just LeBron. It's hard to take him anything at face value and not being kind of phony. So
that's also fair to say. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to ride for your guy again when he goes to the finals as a 5 seed that nobody saw coming. So credit to you, LeBron. I'm sure Kyrie has an aspect of being like, oh, of course.
Right.
Because there was rumors that Kyrie was going to take the mid-level exception and go to the Lakers, but you're not going to take a couple million versus 126 million guarantee or whatever he got for 3 years. So, yeah, like you said, if LeBron really wanted this to happen in some way or another, he could have got him when his value was at the absolute lowest.
Yeah.
When nobody wanted him after all his controversies. So, good job, LeBron. Angel Reese ejected from the game a day after saying people are watching for her too. Dave, we'll start with you. Obviously, the Chicago Sky are a team that's from our city. I'm kind of conflicted on this, though, because actually Portnoy texted me a couple days ago. He's like, do you denounce the Sky? And I was like, I mean, I forgot. I'm gonna pull it up and see exactly what I said. But like I didn't
Announce them.
Yeah, like it was like a big ordeal. Like it was, but it is to him. He's super into the Caitlin Clark drama and stuff.
Same. I am a WNBA League Pass purchaser.
Oh, good. Oh, he said, do you renounce the Chicago Sky? I said, every story needs a villain. They're good for the league. He said, as a Chicagoan, are you a fan? I said, I was a Candace Parker fan, and as a guy who backs the city, they would be my WNBA team, yes. I don't know more or less what to say besides that. I think Angel Reese, in a sense, of course, all the hoopla and all the hype is on Caitlin Clark, but there isn't a necessary evil to have someone like Angel Reese.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
She has helped
said it
Caitlin
herself.
Clark's arc. Yeah.
She said it herself. This prior to the ejection story, but she's like, they're not just watching because of Caitlin Clark, they're watching because of me, because of everything going back to 2 years ago with the national championship and the And I think there's absolutely truth to that. Everybody, it might be skewed 95% they're watching because of Caitlin Clark and 5% because of the villain, but every story needs a villain.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
and even 5% is still a trickle of people who are still tuning in for this.
Definitely.
Like the next Sky Fever game is going to be...
It's going to be a sellout.
Must-watch TV.
Yeah, I love it.
I wouldn't go that
people
far.
saying that Reese needs to be humble and all that. Fuck that, man. If you're an athlete, don't be humble.
Never.
Ever,
Fuck that.
ever.
There is no
My
room.
favorite athletes ever are cocky and a lot of times pieces of shit.
I think the problem people have with Angel Reese is that she will kind of play this role, and then when things aren't going so well, she'll kind of tuck her tail a little bit. So I get that. You can't have it both ways.
Right.
I do
You
understand.
got to stand on business. That's what they say.
You got to stand on business. I do understand that criticism of her, but regardless, I think bad girl Angel Reese is good for the league.
Yeah, and she's super young too. If she does stand on business, is what they say. If she does that, then she'll be great for Caitlin Clark. Because you want to have those huge rivalries of people who I could see Caitlin legit hating her, and it's pretty obvious that Angel pretty much hates Caitlin. So if you have legit hate, I think that makes those games fantastic.
Yeah, we're getting to a point where if you're starting,
Hopefully she's Caitlin's Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So we're getting to a point if you're starting to really know who's the marquee player for every WNBA team, that's a good thing.
Right.
You know?
I mean, we're
I won't
talking
get
about
to
it.
that point personally, but
What?
I will never get to that point personally, but if that's further, sure.
Of what point?
Knowing WNBA, I don't even, we just did the thing on the NBA. Where I...
Yeah, but players, Diana Taurasi plays for the Phoenix team.
Of course, yes.
Kelsey Plum, I don't know what team she plays for, but you know who that is.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so, if you get to a point where there's so many stars, it's going to become more watchable.
There's more now than there has been, for sure.
Exactly. You say, I'm not going to go so far as must-watch TV. Maybe that's a leap. But at the same time, if you're flipping around, it's fucking June. Nothing's on.
Yeah, and the NBA is not must-watch TV in the first month of the season either.
No.
That doesn't even kick off till Christmas, is what
Pretty
most
Christmas,
people.
yeah, Christmas.
Exactly.
So people, we're talking about it in the first month and a half of their season for the WNBA.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pretty remarkable.
The amount of eyes that are on the product now, you can't deny it. It's nothing but good for that league. It's just
I knew a bunch of the players whenever they had the draft that had I saw Stephen A was saying 2.5 million viewers for their draft.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Caitlin and Reese that I knew.
Yeah,
in
Sky
that draft.
drafted Kiki Cordoso from the
Martin,
South Carolina.
There's so many players that I knew who they were and where they played. Cameron Brink.
Yep. Exactly. And speaking of which, my next topic here, how much stories go quiet in June and the summer is just, everyone's kind of doing their own thing. Former NBA player Chase Budinger has clinched a spot in the U.S. Olympic beach volleyball team.
John Rich putting this on the sheet made me want to kill myself. I mean, we're talking about a number 10 guy in the NBA.
Chase Budinger was great at Arizona. I remember
he was awesome there.
He was
He was great.
NCAA player.
He was.
Congrats to him.
Yeah.
Don't think I could care less.
No.
About.
There was
The Taliban could beat us in beach volleyball, and I wouldn't give a fuck.
The 2001 graduating class at my high school had an Olympian on their volleyball team by the name of Sean Rooney. That's my story.
Shout out Sean Rooney.
Sean Rooney.
Sean Rooney.
Go Wheat Normal South Tigers. He's one of our Olympians.
Nice.
And he was on the Olympic men's volleyball team.
Nice. And it's not to say that I don't care about beach volleyball. I'm just not a big Olympics guy.
Oh, I don't care about beach volleyball on the slide.
Winter Olympics, which is like kind of contradictory to me because I hate winter and like don't do Winter Olympics are so much better I think than the Summer Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
Typically.
I don't think that's a hot take.
No.
But yeah, I'm just not a big Olympics guy in general. But good luck to Chase. He was awesome, and I hope the team wins gold. Next topic here: Flavor Flav orders the entire menu at Red Lobster to save the restaurant after filing for bankruptcy. Chaps, where you at on Red Lobster?
Well,
And Flavor Flav doing this in general.
the cheddar biscuits are to die for. There's no mistaking that. I actually think, you know how supermarkets they'll bring in their different successful foods. For instance, like TGA Fridays has their potato skins in a grocery store. I feel like the Cheddar Bay biscuits is probably the best of that tier of things that they sell for you at home that you could get in the restaurant. That's probably there. Other than that, is Red Lobster an advertiser? Do we know?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
But I'll defend him even if you shit on him right now.
That is the most intense diarrhea that you'll ever have. Their shrimp scampi. It is.
See, I respectfully disagree with you.
This is a really battle of wits because I respect your food takes.
I know.
But nobody knows diarrhea better than me.
Okay, so let me say this. I'm not going to comment on the diarrhea aspect. I've never had that experience.
We'll move that to the side.
But can we comment on the shrimp scampi and how fucking good it is?
No.
Okay.
I don't think it's that good.
Well, then you're wrong. Their garlic shrimp scampi is legit.
I just don't think so, Ed.
It's
I
legit.
feel the shrimp there is...
It's the best thing on their menu by far.
But it's also not real shrimp. Like it tastes...
Imitation.
Yeah, it doesn't taste like good.
Sure, you're also from Florida.
That's fair.
I'm from the Midwest.
Yeah, lake shrimp ain't that great.
Sure.
Wait, we have shrimp in the lake?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Sure. I don't know.
I was like, wait.
But credit to Flavor Flav for doing this.
Yeah, I respect that.
If you got a place, you go to bat for.
Dude, if you have the money to do that and you feel like you like Cracker Barrel, if something happened to Cracker Barrel, I'm going all in because those are my people.
Yeah, I respect that.
You like to buy little trinkets when you walk in and out of the store?
Oh, I walk in. The only time I wear cargo pants is if I'm going to Cracker Barrel because I'm gonna have all
gotta
those
load up.
10-cent things in there. I'm gonna get candy that is just for absolute poor people.
I wonder how much a general store grosses.
I think it's like a
pretty good.
huge part of their business.
Because think about
huge part of their business.
It's always busy at Cracker Barrels, but they don't get rid of that section. Businesses aren't doing that just for
You're right.
nostalgia.
That's huge real estate right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually fucking amazing that no corporate exec has come in and knocked it down. They're like, we could fit 15 more tables here.
Right.
Yeah, because you buy one Yankee candle and that's like 2 tables.
Yes, that's actually amazing that many people, some corporate exec hasn't demolished a general store.
I think their biggest, this is incredible move. You remember when they used to you could check out audiobooks from Cracker Barrel?
No,
They had like a library system where you could check out an audiobook at Cracker Barrel, and they know that the audiobook costs them next to nothing because they buy them in bulk.
Right.
But people are going to want that. Cracker Barrel customers aren't giving away that $3 for free. So they're going to turn it back in. You're not just walking an audiobook in and handing it to them and giving them the money back. Oh no, you're sitting your ass down again and having some more hash brown casserole.
That's unbelievable.
It's great business, right?
It is. That's why they're them and we're us.
I'm a little upset that we stand so far apart on the garlic shrimp scampi argument.
Let's go. We'll go together.
Okay.
It's been a while.
There's one right by us.
All right, we'll do it.
Yeah, so we'll go.
They're not totally out of business yet?
No, they only closed 88 locations.
Oh, only 80.
Yeah.
Out of how many?
I got hundreds.
Yeah,
If
they're
not,
everywhere.
If not like 1,000.
The last time I went to a Red Lobster, so my dad doesn't fly. We were driving to the Florida Keys, which is way too far to drive, but we stopped at a Red Lobster right outside West Palm Beach, Florida.
Anytime that you're going to go to that area and get seafood, you got to go to Red Lobster.
The worst restaurant experience I've ever had in my life.
That's such a
There was
ridiculous
napkins
position.
just soaking up on the floor. This is a White Sox Dave's dad move. And I'm there like, yeah, fuck it, let's go. And that it was a bad experience.
Sure, like listen, that's the thing about chain restaurants. They vary location to location.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
So maybe your location is not cooking out the best garlic shrimp scampi. I'd love to take you to my home.
What chain do you think has the highest variance? For me, I think it's Wendy's with a bullet. Like it's
You think
Wendy's
so?
big time.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty universal for me.
Oh,
I
no.
typically
I think
like.
Wendy's is pretty consistent now.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I think it's the high variance. Walmart too. That's not a restaurant.
Yeah.
Very high variance.
I mean, I would say BK, but BK is just a pile of shit in general at this point. So
Wow.
Wow, that's strong words, Edward.
yeah, it's this private equity killed Burger King. If you guys don't know,
I don't know. We can get into it.
we don't have enough time. But bring back the old fries and the crunch.
Shout out Flavor Flav though.
Yeah, shout out Flavor Flav. Last topic here, a remote tribe in Brazil gets internet access for the first time, and it's tearing them apart. Apparently back in September, 2,000 members of the Marubo tribe who live in the Brazilian rainforest were connected to the internet via Elon Musk's Starlink service. The internet was brought to the tribe to help them quickly contact authorities for help with emergencies, including potentially deadly snake bites. And when it arrived, everyone was happy. Now things have gotten worse. The Marubo tribe is traditionally a very modest tribe and disavow even kissing in public, but now many young men have begun sharing porn videos in group chats and have began engaging in more aggressive sexual behavior.
Hell yes.
Tribe leaders fear that their history and culture could be lost forever now as kids spend all day playing games on their phones. Welcome to America.
Yeah, I mean,
Poor Brazil.
is this any shock to anybody?
love
This
this
is
story.
a perfect microcosm of just the world as a whole. It's on a smaller level, like, on a micro level. Of course this is what happened.
Let's say we have some tribal leaders. Mm-hmm. You're sitting down with them at a big conference table, and they're like, listen, White Sox Dave, we need to see some of the top internet videos of all time. And you get to like walk them through it and coach them through it.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
So obviously you got to go a combo of funny, just viral as a whole, not necessarily funny, but your favorite, and then raunchy as fuck. 2 Girls, 1 Cup.
Yep.
Has got to be on there.
I don't think you got to ease them into that. I think that's a bad move.
No. You just throw.
I think they
like,
disavow right away.
No, I think you need to show them what they're up against.
Okay.
Like, this is what's on the internet. Tub Girl, if you remember Tub Girl.
Yep.
Do you remember?
And then if you want to switch realms, you got like Leroy Jenkins is probably my all-time favorite internet video. And it's not necessarily hysterically funny. It's just a bunch of nerds playing war, but like it's like back 'em up, Terry. There's so many good videos out there. Like, I don't know. I don't know where you'd even start.
I'm going Heather Brooke. If they like porn, brother, let me blow your dick off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going there. They're going to absolutely love Charlie Bit My Finger.
Ow! Ow, Charlie! Ow! Charlie, that really hurt.
They're going to lose their mind.
Salad fingers. We can
Over
show them
that.
salad fingers.
Old Greg.
Old Greg.
Yep. Mr. Balloon Hands.
Unforgivable. Remember Unforgivable,
DJ,
Ed?
yeah, Unforgivable. DJ's in my car. Memorial Day.
oh, yeah,
that's a
that's a
good
good
one.
one.
I don't know, like the Mobile, Alabama Leprechaun is an all-timer.
Curiosity leads to large crowds in Mobile's Crichton community, many of you bringing binoculars, camcorders, even camera phones to take pictures.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All you gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else seen the leprechaun? Say yeah!
Eyewitnesses say the leprechaun only comes out at night. If you shine a light in its direction, it suddenly disappears. This amateur sketch resembles what many of you say the leprechaun looks like.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, it obviously is. It's an all-time great internet video, but like, I don't know that it captures the true essence of the internet as much as like.
What about Double Rainbow that's auto-tuned?
That's a great one. Great call.
Oh, okay.
But do you guys know who Graham Hancock is?
Yeah.
So Graham, do you know who Graham? He's archaeologist, studies like ancient civilizations. He's trying to find Atlantis, blah blah blah. And he's like, long story short, if like say there's nuclear Armageddon and everything is wiped out, these tribes in like really remote parts of Africa and and the Amazon rainforest are going to be the tribes that like start civilization again because they don't have anything to do with this shit, and they can already, like, nothing changes for them. They're already living off the land.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So now that we introduce these guys to the internet, like, we're signing our own death certificate, basically, because not if, but when we just wipe ourselves off the face of the earth, we need to rely on those guys to start it up again. Now they have the internet, it's not going to happen. So it's very scary to me, actually, that these guys have the internet. Yeah. We need some people to not have the internet.
How long do you think it would be for them to venture out? Like those super remote places, you know, that you see like in the Amazon where they have those kind of like almost canopies over where they live. How long do you think it would take them to realize that everybody else is dead zone? Probably a while, right? Yeah. Like if they're not venturing out.
I mean, tens of thousands of years, maybe.
Wasn't there like a couple? Isn't there a story where there's a couple Japanese soldiers that were still?
Oh yeah, in the Pacific until like the 70s.
Yeah. It was in. So what happened there? It was in the Philippines where the Japanese were going and they were doing raids there, and they had to go back to resupply. And one of the guys, the general, told him, "Don't leave, no matter what. Don't allow yourself or your men to kill themselves. We will be back. It might take a day, it might take 2 days, it might take a week, 2 weeks, 10 years. Don't leave." And so one guy did it, and he lived out there for 30 fucking years in the jungle. And they had to go. He was like, "I'm not leaving until my actual commanding officer comes back." And they're like, "Well, that dude's dead. Like, he's been dead a long time.
He's at the bottom of the Pacific."
Yeah. And then he ended up being a school teacher.
Really?
Yeah, he went back to Japan, became a school teacher, and then he went back to the Philippines to help all of their like kids start up different schools and orphanages there because he felt bad for just stealing so many like chickens and food along the way so that they could have, him and his men could have sustenance.
How many men did he have, do you know?
They went with, I believe it was a group of 6.
Oh, wow. So there was just 6 guys.
Six of them. And 3 of them died within the first year. And then 2 of them, the last one was like 30 years. And then the other dude was with him for like 25.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's such a crazy story.
It really is. Still alive,
I think there's a bunch of stories
is he?
like
Still
that.
alive.
No shit. Get him on ZBT.
Be a good one.
Yeah, it would.
It's like a real-life Castaway story, kind of.
Yeah.
It's
All
crazy.
right. That's the rundown. After show, how did that Something About Mary debate begin?
Rom-com. It is not a rom-com. It's a comedy. It has a story in it of a little.
It's a com-com.
It's
a
little
romance. The entire thing is he fell in love with her in high school. He's like being a stalker.
It's not a romantic comedy.
That's romantic, dude. The whole thing is not a romantic story. That's a love storyline. There's a difference.
I told you I'm a Niners fan. They fall in love. They kiss at the end of the movie.
That's not a romantic comedy.
This is
Anchorman. They fall in love and kiss at the end of the movie. That's not a romantic comedy.
Toy Story. Woody and Bo Peep fall in love.
I haven't seen that one either.
Is that a rom-com?
No.
Of course not.
This is Banana Land. This is
It's not
Banana
about
Land.
Mary. This is a rom-com. It's not a rom-com. It's a comedy. It's a comedy. It's a
Can I have
comedy.
backup from people with brains, please?
You mean women?
Yes, yes.
I think it's a rom-com. I also haven't like seen it a ton.
She's wrong too.
Okay, that's fine. I can be wrong.
The first thing that I Google, what is Something About Mary, it says rom-com.
They don't end up together.
Not that Google's the end-all be-all by any means.
Yeah.
She ditches Brett Favre.
She ditches Brett Favre at the end?
Yeah, for Ben Stiller, because she's a Niners fan.
Did you almost cry watching Something About Mary?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you probably did, yeah.
Is Wedding Singer not? I feel like it's in the same mold as Wedding Singer.
So this is exactly how, and this is funny because Brandon, it was the heated arguments were between myself and Titus, but we go on Mostly Sports today, and right off the bat, Brandon just forgot how the whole argument even started. So Mook, 2 nights ago, tweeted his top 10 rom-coms list, and I responded to it. No top 10 list of rom-coms is complete without Something About Mary being on it.
Yeah.
So I had just watched Something About Mary in Europe last week. It's fresh on my mind. I love that movie. Everybody loves that movie. It's an all-time classic, no matter how you categorize it. So I wanted to see what Mook's take was on it, just because like I was excited that someone had just seen it for the first time, and I wanted to, I was excited. So I asked him back by the front of the office, by the bar area. I'm like, hey, how'd you like Something About Mary? And he hadn't watched it yet, unfortunately. He's like, I'm watching it tonight. I'm like, and I just muttered kind of mundanely, I'm like, all-time great rom-com. Brandon Walker overhears and he's like, that's not a rom-com. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's not a rom-com. That is absolutely a rom-com. Titus overhears that argument and he goes, and he's yelling in my face, calling me dumb and taking all the low-hanging fruit he can, obviously. And like, he's like, it's a comedy. And I'm like, of course it's a comedy. It's a romantic comedy. He's like, no, it's not. It's a comedy because he gets jizz in Mary's hair. It's like, yeah, but the entire...
That happens in romance.
It did, absolutely. It's occupational hazard. But I'm like, the entire plot of the movie is a man trying to find love with the girl that got away in high school. It's like, down to the title, it is a romance movie. Obviously, it's hysterically funny. Like, I think that it's clouding their brains because it's so funny that it can't be a rom-com, because rom-coms just can't, a rom-com, it's impossible for it to be hysterically funny.
It might be because it's the object permanence, right? Like, because it's rom, so you think the romantic part of it has to be the superseding factor.
And I actually do think that's the case.
Oh.
I do think that's the case for that movie. I do think that's the case for that movie. That at its nuts and bolts, at its absolute core and its heart of hearts, the romance story is the absolute plot line in that movie. Obviously, it's hysterical funny, and all the shit that happens to him in his search for love along the way is laugh out loud funny. It's piss pants funny. But
I think it's
at
a good
its heart, it's a rom-com.
I think it's a good debate. It's definitely a good debate because it definitely is more funny than romantic, but it is such a huge plot line of the movie is obviously There's Something About Mary.
Yeah, and if you're having a rom-com date night, I don't think There's Something About Mary is one that pops up.
I completely disagree.
Oh no, that's crazy. That's ridiculous.
Like if you're going on a date,
it's not a cheesy date night rom-com.
Yeah, first date night rom-com.
What does it have to be cheesy for? Where does cheesy fit into
because
rom-com?
that's what the genre
comedy.
is. The genre is over the top, like
where they package the comedy around a romance story.
I could see you saying that it is, but it is definitely not. If you let's say you polled 100 people, which one of these is?
We did it, and I won convincingly.
I'm not arguing that. We're arguing that it's not like a rom-com you watch with a girl.
Right.
Like I watched it with a girl last week. Yes, it is.
Right, but I'm talking about if my spouse came up or you're in a relationship, they're like, hey, let's watch a rom-com. The immediate trigger point for me is not a movie like There's Something About Mary. No. It's like You've Got Mail, it's Notting Hill, it's Sweet Home Alabama. It's those types
going
of
on
movies.
30.
Yeah, like it's
like that.
Now, so because it's raunchier, it automatically cannot be a rom-com. That doesn't.
It depends on how you want the sex at the end of the night to go. I feel like if you have a Something About Mary and you're joking about cum, it's going to go a little different than if it's like a super sweet story.
Like for instance, if it's
sweet story.
If it's early in a relationship, like you're going to go with one of the more cheesy ones.
Yeah. You got to get Meg Ryan involved. You got to get Tom Hanks in there.
Yes.
You got to throw in a.
And obviously, once you know the girl a little bit more, it's a little different.
Have to, like saying you have to. That's wild to me. Like just because of all the raunchy shit and all the completely outlandish and outrageous shit, like the cum in the hair, the hitchhiker that he picks up so he can vent about Mary, the storyline with Woogie and how he's being all deceitful with the eyeball pimple, and like everything is packaged. The worst case scenarios happen to the dude who's searching for love, and like everything that, like all those bad things that happen is because he's doing something that's with the intention of winning over a girl and finding affection in the girl that got away. And in the end, the little high school nerd that, has the mouth full of braces and zips his dick up in his jeans, beats out Brett Favre, the star quarterback, for the girl, and they kiss, and the movie's over. That is the most romantic thing. I
can't do this anymore.
And I'm not done. It's so romantic. I would say it could absolutely be argued as the best rom-com ever.
All right,
ever.
So romantic. Go watch it and let us know what you think. That's the rundown.
That's the rundown.